Part 2. Back to the old myth of slavery, which everything do and truly began. Let's talk about some myth versus facts. Slavery is as old as mankind is itself. The truth is that slavery, as it associates with Africa, did not begin until the 15th century. That's a fact. That's what we talk about today. The slavery of the 15th century, 1500s. That's when the continent of Africa was explored for its slave trade. Many years prior to that, we can go back and we can trace slavery into so many cultures. It has been like a virus on this planet since the beginning, along with a few other things. So, yes, I took the time out to watch videos, but the information is not true. I can prove to you over and over and over with writings and in photos and in pictures and in testimony what I say is true. Now, anyone want to state facts and lay the claim to something as being special because we are the only one that was slave because it was condemned, that is simply not true. Number one, I almost always got to go back to these ships and those boats. Boats never move themselves. You cannot put a boat in the water, even with sails, because if there's no wind, the boat wouldn't move. Fact. Man has been in conquest and at war before and after. Fact. Even if we go to the biblical days, when Jesus himself walked the earth, remember, it was the Roman army, not the Roman citizen army. In other words, why did they need an army? Because man brutalized each other. By the way, the Romans captured many people of many nations, any nations they could. And for those for those historians, asked them to take a true look at the expansion of the conquest of Rome. It expanded to Asia, most of Europe. It expanded to the continent of Africa. No prejudice for slavery. If you can get someone to do something for you for free, you will. So the notion, and hear me clearly, don't take my words in kind. Tragedies is a tragedy. But I would not forget the tragedies of others. That would not be fair. My concern is we talk, but none of us act. Recent events show that in grave details. Today, as we fight racial injustice, because racist injustice do exist. Can someone pause and look at the people on the firing line? let's take the recent events of South Carolina. Before looking at the actual videos, because you can't hide away from pictures, no different than me talking to you now, there's no question that this is me. I looked at the front line and I looked at the confrontation and I come to this conclusion. Who was the people in the battle? Mostly non-African descent. I didn't use the word African American because, like all other nations, maybe a little slight exception of Asia, most of us have learned to blend in. I talked about that on the earlier conversation. Without being offensive and debating certain things, it's not what I want to do. I've listened to every word that you asked me to. And the first video give you my opinion. I listened to the video with open mind. And techniques are techniques. You shouldn't, it's a false question to ask an individual if you already perceive to know the answer. And the truth is, generally, to answer a question of something that is subjective, it's not an answer. The words you may use may be absolutely correct, but please trust the originals and the meaning of that word. Example, you haven't convinced me on the Israeli part. Because again, you guys don't have to recognize it. But they suffered. I would not try to deny them of the fight, of the suffering those people went through. I can't deny the Koreans the suffering they went to. Nor can I even deny the people of Europe that went to the suffering that they went through. My plight or flight is what it is. But yes, in the Bible, God mentioned in many chapters about Israel. But God, or Christ, had no intention to live by and to give the same rules as some of the most evil people on the planet. So let's talk about Hitler.
New message, standing by.
Him? The same plane as Christ? I don't think so. What about the great Genghis Khan? Name you don't hear very often, but many know of Genghis Khan. wasn't a great man, wasn't a nice man. There's been others. Some escape me. Ivan the Terrible. Ivan the Terrible. Speaking of slavery, the most famous slave owners of all. Let's say that again. The one thing the world do not debate, including yourself, is the greatest slave owners ever are those of Egypt. I ask you to show me a difference in the people of Egypt and the people that you say are the chosen one. Again, I would not debate the word, because one thing that I know to be a fact in today is that there is zero written words from Egypt or any part of Africa that exist. Instead, I would say this. So, we have Latin, Greek as a primary language for the writing of the word. That we cannot debate. Books and pictures have stood the test of time. That we cannot debate. We can't debate it. So before we get caught up in the what we want to believe, let's stick to the facts. I said I won't quote the word, but I would say this. That land of milk and honey with the giant grapes, everything else, where would that be? In Western Africa. So if we want to just debate facts, we can't debate that. That is that which was described as the promised land. What happened? Did they have a 1,000-year drought? Just saying, if we want to debate some things. Okay. Let's say that we'll end this one now. trying to be nice and kind and not misrepresent myself.